2025 Ford Mustang Mach-E, the electric muscle car we've been waiting for? There's something electric, literally and figuratively, about standing in front of the 2025 Ford Mustang Mach-E for the first time. Not just because of the whir of its near-silent drivetrain or the glow of its LED lighting signature, but because it represents a seismic shift in what the Mustang badge means in the modern age. Gone are the days when Mustang was synonymous solely with throaty V8s, smoky burnouts, and old-school bravado. In its place stands a sleek, sculpted electric SUV with curves that whisper performance and a stance that hints at rebellion. For purists, the Mach-E might initially feel like an affront to tradition, like naming a thunderstorm after a campfire. But take a closer look, and something becomes clear. The spirit of the Mustang hasn't been erased. It's been reimagined for a new era, and Ford is betting big that this is what the future of American muscle looks like. From the moment you lock eyes with the 2025 Mach-E, there's no mistaking Ford's intent. The front end is bold and confident, not cluttered with a faux grille like some EVs trying to imitate combustion styling. Instead, it's aerodynamic, purposeful, and unmistakably modern. Yet, it's flanked by headlights that draw a direct line to Mustang DNA, with triple vertical LED bars that evoke the classic pony car's fierce gaze. The sculpted hood, sloping roofline, and aggressive haunches aren't just for show, they're performance statements. Silent declarations that this SUV wasn't built to blend in with the sea of lookalike crossovers. The Mach-E's profile leans forward like it's ready to lunge, even while standing still. And then there's the rear. Tri-bar taillights, sequential turn signals, and a tapered tailgate that nods to fastback Mustangs of decades past. It's not a copy, it's a tribute with an attitude of its own. Some might argue that an SUV can't wear the Mustang badge, but one look at this electric beast and it's clear. The Mach-E didn't borrow the name, it earned it. Climb inside, and you're greeted by a cabin that feels like stepping into a tech-forward performance lounge. The 2025 model pushes the bar even higher than before, refining what was already one of the most polished interiors in Ford's electric lineup. The center stage belongs to a massive 15.5-inch vertical touchscreen that dominates the dashboard like a command center out of a futuristic cockpit. It's responsive, intuitive, and impressively functional, blending climate controls, navigation, media, and drive modes into a single, fluid experience. Beneath it, a rotary dial offers volume control, a rare and welcome tactile touch in an increasingly digital world. Drivers are also treated to a fully digital 10.2-inch instrument cluster, clean and customizable, giving you everything from speed and range to regenerative braking levels and performance readouts in crisp, sharp detail. Materials in the 2025 Mach-E are upgraded across the board. Soft touch surfaces, brushed aluminum trim, and vegan leather upholstery elevate the experience beyond what many might expect from a Ford. It's not trying to mimic a European luxury SUV, nor is it drowning in faux wood or over-the-top flourishes. Instead, it feels uniquely American, modern, confident, and athletic. The seats are firm yet supportive, hugging the body in all the right places, whether you're carving corners in unbridled mode or gliding down the highway in whisper mode. Rear passengers aren't left out either. There's ample legroom, a flat floor thanks to the EV architecture, and even a panoramic glass roof that floods the cabin with natural light, making every seat feel like a front-row ticket to the future. But beyond comfort and tech, what really makes the interior special is the emotion it evokes. Every detail, from the sculpted dashboard to the ambient lighting that changes with drive modes, feels deliberate. It's a space that invites you to drive, not just commute. There's a sense of anticipation the moment you press the start button and the screens come alive. This isn't just an EV that looks cool, it's one that makes you feel something. It's the kind of emotion you used to get from hearing a V8 roar to life, now replaced by the quiet surge of instant torque and the whisper of air slicing over sculpted bodywork. Of course, comparisons to the traditional Mustang coupe are inevitable. And while the Mach-E doesn't roar like a Shelby GT500 or snap your neck with downshifts from a Coyote V8, it doesn't have to. Its performance speaks in a different dialect, one of silent speed, instant response, and refined control. It's less about the roar and more about the rush. From the driver's seat, the Mach-E feels planted and quick-witted. The low center of gravity, thanks to the floor-mounted battery pack, gives it a balance and poise that might surprise even longtime Mustang fans. Steering is sharp, regenerative braking is adjustable, and acceleration is nothing short of addictive. The GT and GT Performance editions, in particular, deliver the kind of thrust that rewrites expectations of what an electric SUV can do, going toe-to-toe with German EVs that cost far more. And yet, despite all the modernity, the Mach-E still carries with it a rebellious soul, the same spirit that made the original Mustang a cultural icon. It's bold, it's polarizing, and it refuses to conform. It doesn't just want to be another electric car, it wants to be the electric car that changes minds, raises eyebrows, and drops jaws. In that sense, it's not just a Mustang in name, it's a Mustang in mission. So, is the 2025 Ford Mustang Mach-E the electric muscle car we've been waiting for? If muscle means raw emotion, thrilling performance, and design that stirs something primal inside you, then the answer is yes, resoundingly yes. It may not drink gasoline or bark through tailpipes, but it brings something just as potent to the table, a new kind of excitement, a new kind of freedom, and a new definition of what it means to be a Mustang in the age of electricity. This isn't the death of the American performance car. It's its next evolution, and it's glorious. Hit the start button, shift into drive, and the 2025 Ford Mustang Mach-E doesn't roar, it surges. It doesn't need noise to prove its power, it speaks in G-forces and pure, uninterrupted thrust. With multiple powertrain configurations, from the more composed Select and Premium trims to the unrelenting GT and GT Performance variants, the Mach-E offers a flavor for every kind of driver. The standard rear-wheel drive setup delivers smooth, efficient power with a quiet confidence, while the all-wheel drive system transforms the experience into something far more aggressive, sending torque to the wheels that need it most in milliseconds. At the top of the range, the GT Performance Edition doesn't just participate in the conversation about fast electric SUVs. It leads it, with 480 horsepower and 634 lb-ft of torque that catapults it from 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. That's territory once reserved for dedicated sports cars, and here we are, doing it in a family-friendly electric SUV wearing a Mustang badge. It's not just quick for an EV. It's blistering, period. But raw numbers only tell half the story. What truly defines the Mach-E is how it drives. Press the accelerator, and you feel a wave of power that's instant and relentless, delivered with the kind of smoothness only electric motors can offer. There's no gear hunting, no delay, no drama, just the immediate rush of torque pinning you back into your seat. In the GT trims, it's exhilarating, enough to challenge your grip on the steering wheel and stretch a grin across your face every single time you punch it. But even the lower trims don't feel like compromises. They offer a poised, responsive, and lively drive, perfectly balanced for everyday enjoyment and weekend fun. What's truly impressive, though, is how the Mach-E handles. Unlike many electric SUVs that feel detached or overly heavy, the Mach-E carries its weight low and wide, thanks to the battery pack integrated into its floor. This gives it remarkable stability through corners and a surprising eagerness to dance. It doesn't lumber like a high-riding crossover, it carves. Whether you're weaving through city streets or attacking a twisting mountain road, the steering is crisp and precise, offering just enough feedback to feel connected but not so much that it becomes tiring. And with 3 distinct drive modes, Whisper, Engage, and Unbridled, you can tailor the experience to match your mood. Whisper is calm and efficient, Engage feels athletic and composed, and Unbridled unleashes the car's full potential, sharpening throttle response, tightening steering, and even piping in a subtle, futuristic sound to heighten the drama. It's not trying to mimic an engine, but it adds a layer of emotion to the silence, turning every on-ramp into a launch pad. Ride quality is another triumph. Despite its sporty intentions, the Mach-E never feels punishing. The suspension is tuned with a deft hand, soaking up bumps and road imperfections with grace while maintaining the tautness needed for spirited driving. In the GT Performance Edition, the MagneRide adaptive dampers go a step further, adjusting in real time to keep the car flat and composed no matter how aggressive you get behind the wheel. It's a genuine feat of engineering, balancing comfort with capability so effectively that you could daily drive this machine during the week and still chase apexes on the weekend. Of course, Ford isn't the only one chasing the dream of the electric performance SUV. Rivals are everywhere, some chasing luxury, some chasing speed. The Tesla Model Y Performance stands out as a direct competitor. It's fast, no doubt, with straight-line acceleration that can make your stomach drop. But the Mach-E offers a more engaging drive. The steering has more character, the chassis feels more planted, and the entire experience feels engineered for the enthusiast, not just the drag strip. Tesla's edge in raw acceleration is impressive, but speed without soul becomes novelty. The Mach-E, on the other hand, offers an experience you want to come back to every day, not just to impress your friends, but to feel something behind the wheel. Then there's the Hyundai Ioniq 5N, a fresh challenger with bold styling and a performance twist. It's impressive in its own right, with its dual-motor setup and track-tuned upgrades. But where the Ioniq feels like an experiment in speed, the Mach-E feels like a statement. The Ford carries heritage, attitude, and emotional weight that's hard to define but impossible to ignore. It drives with purpose, as if every turn of the wheel is a reminder that electric performance doesn't have to be sterile. It can still be raw, exhilarating, and deeply satisfying. And let's not forget about the luxury crowd. The Audi Q4 e-tron and Mercedes EQB offer premium interiors and refined cruising experiences, but they don't quite stir the soul. They're content being comfortable, polished, and practical. The Mach-E is all that, sure, but it's also daring. It's the one that'll make you take the long way home, just to feel the surge of acceleration and the sweep of the road beneath you. It's not trying to be the most luxurious, or even the fastest. It's trying to make you feel again behind the wheel, and it succeeds. In truth, the 2025 Mach-E proves that performance in the EV world is about more than just hitting benchmarks. It's about balance, about feel, about character. And Ford has managed to engineer a machine that captures the essence of Mustang performance while translating it into a modern electric form. It's not just about being quicker than the next EV, it's about being better to drive. It's about having a chassis that communicates, a suspension that inspires confidence, and a powertrain that responds like a finely tuned instrument. So yes, the Mach-E is fast. Yes, it handles brilliantly. But more than that, it invites you to drive with passion again, to chase the horizon not with noise, but with intent. It brings muscle car energy into a world of kilowatts and carbon-free commutes, proving that the Mustang's spirit wasn't left behind in the gas era. It's alive, it's electric, and it's more thrilling than ever. This isn't just a performance EV, it's a modern Mustang, reborn on its own terms. Range anxiety, once the dark cloud looming over the promise of electric mobility, is steadily being pushed out of the conversation, and the 2025 Ford Mustang Mach-E is helping to clear the skies. This isn't just an EV with numbers that look good on paper, it's one that holds its own where it matters most, in the real world. With a range that now stretches up to an estimated 320 miles depending on configuration, the Mach-E covers serious ground without constantly tethering you to a charger. Whether you opt for the standard range battery or go all in on the extended range version, Ford has tailored each variant to meet different lifestyles. For the urban commuter, the base model delivers plenty of mileage for daily routes and weekend errands. For road warriors and thrill seekers, the extended range models provide the kind of reach that makes cross-state journeys a no-stress affair. In practice, the numbers hold up remarkably well. Even in mixed driving conditions, city streets, highway cruising, a little bit of spirited backroad fun, the Mach-E delivers close to its promised range. And with regenerative braking modes helping recapture energy on the fly, it's an EV that rewards mindful driving without turning it into a chore. Charging, the lifeblood of any electric vehicle, has been another area where Ford has done its homework. Let's start at home, where most EV owners do 80 to 90% of their charging. The Mach-E pairs seamlessly with a level 2 home charger, giving you a full battery overnight. Plug it in before bed, and you wake up to a full tank of electrons every morning, ready for whatever the day throws your way. Installation is straightforward, and Ford offers its own branded wall box. though the Mach-E is compatible with many third-party chargers as well. For those who live in apartments or without a private garage, the car can also charge from a standard 120-volt outlet, albeit slowly, adding about 3 miles per hour of charge. It's not ideal for daily use, but in a pinch, it works. Step outside the house and the Mach-E continues to impress. With access to Ford's Blue Oval charging network, now one of the largest public charging ecosystems in North America, drivers can plug in at more than 100,000 chargers, including fast charging stations from Electrify America, ChargePoint, and others. Using a DC fast charger, the Mach-E can recoup up to 80% of its battery in about 33 minutes. That's enough time to grab a coffee, stretch your legs, and be back on the road. Ford has also adopted the NACS, North American Charging Standard, opening the door for Mach-E drivers to tap into Tesla's vast supercharger network starting in 2025. That's a game changer. It means the Mach-E will soon enjoy the same convenient, reliable, and fast charging experience that Tesla owners have long considered a major advantage. With the supercharger station's impressive uptime, clean layouts, and intuitive operation, Ford drivers are about to inherit the gold standard in EV infrastructure. But what really elevates the Mach-E's long-haul capabilities is Ford's suite of driving tech, particularly Blue Cruise. It's more than just adaptive cruise control. Blue Cruise enables hands-free driving on more than 130,000 miles of pre-mapped highways in North America. The system uses cameras, radar, and GPS to monitor your position, your surroundings, and even your attention. That means you can let go of the wheel, relax your shoulders, and still make confident, efficient progress toward your destination. Combined with the car's navigation that now prioritizes charging stops with real-time availability and charger speeds, the Mach-E makes long-distance EV travel feel normal, even easy. It's the kind of experience that nudges skeptics to see that electric vehicles aren't just for short-range city commutes anymore. They're for family vacations, weekend getaways, and everything in between. Of course, no EV exists in a vacuum. So how does the Mach-E stack up against the competition? It depends on where you're looking. The Tesla Model Y, perhaps its most direct rival, boasts similar range figures on paper, topping out around 330 miles. But in independent testing, the Model Y often falls short of its EPA estimate, especially at highway speeds. The Mach-E, on the other hand, consistently comes within a few percentage points of its claimed range, giving drivers a better sense of predictability. It's a small detail, but a meaningful one when you're staring down a long stretch of interstate with the next charger 80 miles away. Then there's the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Kia EV6, both offering ranges in the 300-mile ballpark and impressive 800-volt architecture that enables ultra-fast charging. These are serious contenders, especially if you frequent the right kind of fast-charging infrastructure. But where Ford has an edge is in integration and simplicity. The Mach-E's user interface is more intuitive, the charging network more extensive, and the route planning more seamless. You don't have to be a tech wizard to make it all work. It just works. Luxury EVs like the Audi Q4 e-tron or Mercedes EQB tend to fall behind in this department. Their range is often underwhelming, and charging speeds leave something to be desired. They may deliver refinement and plush interiors, but when it comes to practical, everyday usability, the kind that matters when you're stuck in traffic or watching the battery meter tick down, they lag behind. The Mach-E, meanwhile, balances premium feel with real-world sensibility. You get a digital cockpit that's clear and customizable, a massive center touchscreen that integrates navigation and charging tools with fluid responsiveness, and over-the-air updates that keep everything current and fresh. In essence, the Mach-E doesn't just compete, it competes smart. It gives you the flexibility to handle every kind of charging scenario, the confidence to go the distance, and the tools to do it all with minimal fuss. And it does so with an eye toward the future. Ford knows that EV ownership is about more than kilowatts and miles. It's about trust. Trust that you won't get stranded. Trust that the infrastructure will be there. Trust that you can get where you need to go without second-guessing your decision to go electric. The 2025 Mustang Mach-E delivers on that promise. not just with solid range and quick charging, but with a thoughtful, driver-centric ecosystem that brings the electric experience to life. So, for anyone still wondering if an EV can replace their gas-powered daily driver, not just on paper, but in the rhythm of real life, the Mach-E offers a compelling answer. It's more than just a battery on wheels. It's a well-rounded, road-ready machine that redefines what's possible with electrification. It gives you the thrill of the Mustang name, the utility of a crossover, and the practicality of a car that charges while you sleep, shops, or sip a latte. And with its ever-expanding access to America's best charging networks, it's making the dream of seamless electric driving not just a concept, but a daily reality. Step inside the 2025 Ford Mustang Mach-E and it becomes immediately clear. This isn't just a vehicle built for the electric age, it's a machine crafted for the digital frontier. Where the classic Mustang roared with raw horsepower and a rebellious spirit, the Mach-E hums with confidence, driven as much by software as it is by electric motors. The transformation doesn't feel like a departure from the Mustang's DNA, but rather an evolution, one where performance meets precision, and where muscle is redefined through technology. At the center of this transformation is the Mach-E's suite of next-generation features that turn every drive into an experience of intelligence, connection, and seamless control. It's not just about getting from A to B anymore. It's about how you feel along the way, and the Mach-E makes sure you feel in command of the future. Let's begin with the dashboard, where tradition gives way to innovation. Instead of the usual gauge cluster, you're greeted with a crisp 10.2-inch digital instrument display. It's minimal, elegant, and entirely focused on what matters most: your speed, your battery life, your current drive mode, and your surroundings. This screen doesn't clutter your view, it enhances it. The interface is fluid, intuitive, and intelligently adaptive to your driving context. Whether you're gliding through traffic in whisper mode or dialing up all-out acceleration in unbridled, the visuals adjust with you, immersing you deeper into the Mach-E's dual personality. But the real centerpiece is the massive 15.5-inch vertically oriented touchscreen, a command center that would make a sci-fi spaceship blush. Powered by Ford's SYNC4A system, the screen is more than just a digital interface. It's your co-pilot. With machine learning that personalizes your preferences over time, the Mach-E anticipates your habits. Whether it's your favorite route to the gym, your go-to playlist on a Friday night, or your preferred climate settings on chilly mornings, the interface is sharp, responsive, and delightfully clean. You swipe, tap, and pinch like you would on a high-end tablet. Everything is exactly where you expect it to be, from navigation to phone integration to EV-specific tools like route planning and nearby charger detection. And for those who crave a tactile connection in a digital world, there's still a physical volume knob embedded within the touchscreen, a subtle nod to ergonomics that shows Ford's engineers were thinking beyond just screens. Connectivity is at the heart of the Mach-E's mission. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard, and not the kind that requires a cable. Wireless integration means your digital life comes along for the ride without a single plug. Need to take a Zoom call on the go? The Mach-E offers Wi-Fi hotspot functionality. Want to precondition your cabin before stepping inside on a frosty morning? The Ford Pass app lets you start the car, adjust temperature settings, check your charge, and even lock or unlock doors, all from your phone. Your smartphone becomes an extension of the vehicle, blurring the lines between car and companion. And with over-the-air OTA updates now rolling out faster and more frequently, the Mach-E you buy today only gets smarter over time. Ford pushes out improvements to performance, navigation, user interface, and more, meaning your vehicle continues to evolve with the pace of innovation. Then there's the sound system. Because a silent EV doesn't mean you have to live in a quiet cabin. The available Biano Premium audio setup transforms the Mach-E into a rolling concert hall. With 10 strategically placed speakers and immersive tuning, every drive becomes a front-row seat to your favorite songs. Whether it's thundering bass or delicate high notes, the system captures it all with clarity and depth. Combine that with the car's near-silent ride and enhanced sound insulation, and the result is an audio experience that rivals luxury sedans twice the price. Safety, of course, is more than just a checklist of acronyms. it's about confidence. And here the Mach-E shines just as brightly. It comes loaded with Ford Co-Pilot 360, a suite of advanced driver assistance features that act like a digital guardian angel. You've got automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, blind spot monitoring with cross-traffic alert, adaptive cruise control with stop and go, lane keeping assist, and more. Each feature is seamlessly integrated into the driving experience. Not intrusive, not annoying, just quietly vigilant. The sensors and cameras work overtime so you don't have to. When you're in dense city traffic, the system watches your flanks. On long road trips, it maintains distance and pace without tiring. And with active park assist, even tight parking situations become stress-free. It's not just safer, it's smarter. Perhaps the most groundbreaking of all is Blue Cruise, Ford's hands-free highway driving system. Unlike some semi-autonomous features that demand constant fiddling, Blue Cruise allows you to take your hands off the wheel entirely, on approved blue zones, across North American highways, while the system keeps you centered and safely distanced from surrounding vehicles. It monitors your gaze to ensure you're still paying attention, but aside from that, it handles the rest. This is the future of cruising, and in the Mach-E, it feels not only possible, but natural. Long drives become easier, less fatiguing, and more enjoyable. Combined with the EV's smooth acceleration and one-pedal driving mode, it transforms the notion of what a road trip should be. What's most impressive, though, is how all this technology doesn't feel like cold machinery. It feels like an extension of you. The Mach-E isn't overwhelming or intimidating. It invites interaction. It welcomes exploration. And it rewards curiosity. From the ambient lighting that shifts with your drive mode, to the ease with which you can customize your digital dashboard, to the calm sense of control you feel when using voice commands to find a restaurant or skip a track, it all just works, and it all feels purposeful. It's not tech for tech's sake. It's tech that empowers you. In many ways, the 2025 Mustang Mach-E is a story of rebirth, not just for the Mustang nameplate, but for the American approach to driving in the digital era. It takes the brute force of classic muscle and injects it with software finesse. It blends touchscreen convenience with analog satisfaction. It's a car that understands the modern driver doesn't just want speed or comfort. They want information, connection, and safety all rolled into one. The Mach-E delivers, and then some. This is what the digital age Mustang looks like, not confined to the past, but roaring forward, not with exhaust and fire, but with intelligence, silence, and electric precision. In doing so, it proves that the heart of the Mustang isn't bound to the engine under the hood. It's in the experience. And thanks to a full suite of cutting-edge technology and features, that experience is now more exhilarating and more empowering than ever. So, after all the torque, tech, and thoughtful design, does the 2025 Ford Mustang Mach-E truly earn the right to carry the Mustang badge? That's the question that's been circling gearheads, skeptics, and enthusiasts since day one. The name Mustang isn't just a badge on a trunk, it's a legacy. A name soaked in decades of performance, passion, and rebellion. For Ford to slap it on an all-electric SUV was either a bold stroke of genius or an unforgivable sin, depending on who you ask. But now, with the Mach-E in its refined 2025 form, it's time to answer that question once and for all, not with nostalgia, but with facts, feel, and the future in mind. Let's start with what the Mach-E nails, and there's a lot. First, it's a visually striking vehicle. It respects Mustang heritage with sleek body lines, tri-bar taillights, and a front end that nods to aggression without trying to mimic a gas-guzzling coupe. It makes a statement without being trapped in the past. Inside, the cabin is a masterclass in modern comfort and intuitive design. The infotainment system is responsive, the tech is genuinely useful, and the driving position feels sporty enough to keep purists content. Factor in the expansive cargo space, the quiet electric glide, and Ford's digital-forward approach, and you get something that doesn't just meet expectations, it elevates them. On the road, the Mach-E doesn't feel like a soft compromise. Whether you're behind the wheel of the GT Performance Edition or the all-wheel drive premium trim, this is a car that moves. Instant torque, controlled cornering, and whisper quiet speed remind you that electric doesn't mean boring. The driving dynamics are tuned with purpose. Sure, it's not the kind of tail-happy rear-wheel screamer that early Mustangs were known for, but that doesn't mean it lacks soul. It's a different kind of thrill, one that blends control with innovation, pace with precision. The range and charging story is equally compelling. With real-world range estimates that live up to the sticker numbers and a growing network of Louisville public chargers, the Mach-E proves itself as more than a commuter. It's a legitimate long-distance cruiser. The availability of fast charging, home charging compatibility, and intelligent range management systems make it genuinely usable for daily life and road trips alike. Of course, there are still trade-offs. The Mach-E's rear visibility isn't fantastic, and while its ride is well-damped, it doesn't float like a luxury SUV. It leans slightly toward firm, sporty tuning. Some diehards will also never forgive the absence of a V8 rumble or a manual gearbox. And while pricing starts competitive, fully loaded versions creep into premium territory that might make budget-conscious buyers hesitate. But step back and look at the big picture. The 2025 Ford Mustang Mach-E isn't just a good electric SUV, it's a great one. It delivers performance without guilt, tech without confusion, and style without compromise. More importantly, it reimagines what a Mustang can be in the 21st century. It's not borrowing the name, it's evolving it. This is a Mustang for the digital age, for drivers who crave speed but care about sustainability, who want muscle without emissions, and who believe the thrill of driving should come with a vision for the future. So, is the Mustang Mach-E the electric muscle car we've been waiting for? If what you've been waiting for is a vehicle that honors the past while charging boldly into the future, then yes. Loudly, proudly, and without apology, yes,